radical flame paint jobs, intense graphics, and clean lines are just a few trademark characteristics that make this master bike builder one of the best in the business.
I'm a founding member of the world-famous motorcycle group, the Hamsters. I've been painting motorcycles longer than most bike builders have been alive. I've designed and built over 500 custom bikes. I'm Dave Perowitz.
And this is Chopper Nation.
I was born in Brookline, Massachusetts, but grew up in Brockton, Mass. Brockton's a city about 20 miles south of Boston, and this is where I grew up. This is my street right here, Mellon Street. I used to stand on this corner and wait for the school bus. When I was 17, I got my first bike, 1964 Sportster. Of course, we immediately tore it all apart, me and a couple of my friends, and gave it a quick facelift. That was the beginning of my life customizing and painting motorcycles.
By 1974, Dave took the custom bike show circuit by storm. However, it was a chance encounter with motorcycle great Arlen Ness that spurred him to turn his passion into a career.
That was a big turning point. Becoming friends with Arlen, I decided to open up my first store.
Dave was off and running, and since then, Dave's owned a number of shops and built many bikes. All that hard work and dedication have earned him 2 Lifetime Achievement Awards and induction into several Motorcycle Halls of Fame. Dave's also been featured on over 100 motorcycle magazine covers. And of course, a master of such quality and longevity could only work in one of the best motorcycle shops ever built. Dave's showroom is filled with tons of chopper memorabilia that he's collected throughout his extensive career. And with over 5,000 square feet, his workshop has everything he needs to continue to make some of the most beautiful motorcycles ever made. But even if Dave was working in a tool shed, he'd still be producing bikes with a signature quality that he calls the look.
One of the most exciting parts of a build is taking the bike off the stand. So we'd take them off, look at the lines and the way everything flows, and I just adopted that saying just naturally. Man, that thing has got the look. The look, you know? Just everything works. The whole bike flows from front to back. Everything fits properly as far as aesthetics go. It's just a cool look. It's the look that I wanted it to have. And you want to know what that is? Look at the bike. This is our Pro Street version. It's probably the Perowitz traditional style, long, stretched out, and slammed on the ground. Pretty much my favorite style. It started out as a Daytech frame, and we ended up cutting the front half of the frame off, and we built that front section. And the reason we had to do that, it's got an S&S 145. We had to raise the top rail of the frame 1.5 inches to get that motor in. It's got extensive sheet metal work done to it where the tank all flows into the seat area and then into the rear fender. The pipes were quite extensive. They were made with a joint effort between us and TCX. I spent a lot of extra time on the flame job on this bike. We put flames on the front down tubes, but we also ran the flames from the front of the gas tank all the way to the back of the seat area, which I think looks great. We decided to outline the flames in kind of a bright green. We rode it in Sturgis this year. Everybody loves it. The S&S 145, I can say, is a handful.
When we come back, flames burn through the Perowitz shop. Dave Perowitz usually has a better idea of what his customers want than the customers themselves.
I've had dozens of people over the years tell me, you can do whatever you want, but make sure there's no pink in it. And I can't tell you how many jobs we've put pink in. And the customer comes and they say, wow, I never would have believed pink would look so good.
Sometimes, though, a Perowitz customer will have a very specific idea of what they want, so mock-ups are a necessity.
This is a test panel. We're building a bike for Greg Zipadelli. He's the crew chief for Tony Stewart, the number 20 Home Depot car. Greg is a pretty fussy guy. He's tough, but we want to give him exactly what he wants. What we have here is PPG orange from the Vibrance collection as a base. Then all of this tribal stuff is done in marbleized. The outline on all this stuff is gold leaf. It's actually what they call variegated gold because it's got all the different colors in it. It's really an old technique that we used to use back in the late 70s through the 80s.
These days, Dave creates the look in his state-of-the-art paint room and spray booth, the newest additions to the Perowitz shop in Bridgewater, Massachusetts. However, when he started painting 35 years ago, things were a little different.
I hung around a body shop and I learned to paint just watching my friends. And to do a three-piece paint job was about 35 bucks. That was to, you know, prep it and paint it and finish it. I'd do a big job, which was a frame, tank, and fenders, and rake the frame, multi-colors. That was about 175 bucks.
175 bucks is less than the cost of paint these days, and now Dave's work fetches up to $12,000 for customers wanting the best of the best. And what's the biggest secret behind a paint job that's more valuable than most motorcycles?
The most important step, wash my hands. Because if your hands aren't clean when you start, you're screwed in the end. Geez, I hope my bathroom's clean.